Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Blissfully Bloom. I'm Victoria LeBlanc, a self-love and soulful coach, and I'm your host. The intention of this podcast is to guide women to fall in love with themselves, embody confidence, and drop the stories of not good enough. Your soul will awaken to the truth that you have always been worthy. In this remembering, you no longer wait for permission, validation, or acceptance. You choose yourself, and you become a woman who blissfully blooms like a rose, showing the world your authentic self, talents, and gifts because it's your birthright. Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Blissfully Bloom. I'm so excited to be back and having another solo episode out. I feel like it's been a minute since I released an episode. I feel like this May I've just been super busy with retreat planning, and that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about for this podcast episode. It's called Follow the Path of Your Inner Light. And I'm going to use my retreat that I hosted over the weekend as an example to kind of walk you through what I mean by that. These last few years, I feel like I have really began to trust the path of my inner light. And it has taken me places that I'm just beyond mind blown at just how easy it feels, how natural and in my element I can be, even though I felt fear, even though I felt those nerves and those butterflies. I still said yes despite those feelings. And let me kind of walk you through this retreat planning process for the self-love retreat that I hosted this May. This was my second time hosting the retreat. So I still consider myself a beginner. I am not an expert at retreat planning whatsoever. And so I really started to get into my head. I was overthinking things. I was thinking of the worst case scenarios, like, oh, what if I get no signups? What if everybody comes and they hate it and they have the worst of time? Or what if I don't actually make it to the retreat space? I had to drive through mountains, and I'm not an expert at mountain driving whatsoever at all. So I was really nervous about even the drive there. And all of these fears came up, and I was really doubting myself. And what this was eventually doing, it was causing that light that I first saw in my vision of hosting these retreats. It was starting to bring that light down. It was starting to dim that light. And instead of seeing this vision for myself as something that was purposeful, was something that was going to bring me fulfillment, and seeing the blessings in it, I saw everything that could go wrong. And it almost caused me to just not do it at all. Like, I honestly had thoughts at one point that I was just not going to do this retreat. I think I had like 2 more spots left, or it might have been 2 more spots left. The ladies on the book retreat sites, I found that they were canceling, they were joining, and then they were canceling. So it caused all these doubts, like, oh, if they're canceling, maybe my retreat isn't meant to be this time of year. Maybe I should just host another one. I mean, I was really starting to convince myself that it just wasn't meant to be for me in May. And I came to the conclusion that, you know what, no matter who joins this one, I'm still going to do it no matter what. Even if 3 of the ladies cancel last minute and there's only 1 that joins, I'm still going to go no matter what, even if I don't even make a profit off of this retreat. Because I realized that by saying yes and for choosing this path and just being devoted to it, I'm going to send signals to the universe that I feel lit up by this. My soul is on fire, and I'm going to continue to walk this path no matter what obstacles are coming inner obstacles, inner turmoil in my mind, or outer obstacles that may be present at the moment, I'm still going to trust and believe in it, right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if somebody else trusts in that path for you and they're like, oh my gosh, you would be such a good retreat host, or you would be such an amazing podcaster, or you would be such an amazing author or a YouTuber, or whatever it might be. At the end of the day, it has to be you who believes it, because you're going to be the one who continues to strive on this path and continue to keep going. Not that other person that believes in you, right? It's nice to have that support along your journey, but it's the one thing that is going to come down to you actually seeing it through, and for you um continuing to feel lit up, continuing to choose your soul's path. It's going to have to be you who decides that for yourself. And so that's why I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter who shows up. It doesn't matter if I make a profit on this retreat, because what I'm going to make, and it's probably invaluable, it's what no money can actually give me, is experience, is confidence, right? When I walk away from this retreat, I'm going to feel so much more sure of myself. And all of these doubting feelings that I was feeling for this second retreat, I don't know what was up. I don't think I felt this much doubt for my first retreat. So something must have happened, right? Something along the way that caused these doubting feelings to be like, oh, we're going to try to knock her down. I don't know what was happening there, but I felt it. And I almost let it get to me, okay? And here's the thing. That's the difference between people who see their dreams come to fruition and those who don't, is they don't allow those inner critic voices or those doubtful and fearful voices that they hear in their minds to get to them. They don't allow it to mean anything about who they are. And so they continue to keep being themselves and showing up authentically no matter what. And that really took the pressure off of me, because I started to feel a lot of the pressure, feeling like I had to be this perfect retreat host. And one of the few elements that I was really that were on my, I guess, doubtful list is the fact that I'm not a cook whatsoever. And I did not hire extra help for this retreat. And here's the thing, what I learned through this one is I felt like I was doing everything. Okay. And when you have that many tasks on your hands, it can take a lot of your energy and drain you out, right? So I had to really ask myself, how can I make the next retreat even better? Not only for the ladies who are going to join, but for myself, right? Because I am the host. I have to show up as authentically as I possibly can. And I honestly thought that having to worry about all these meals throughout the retreat, it was really getting to me. Even before the retreat even started, I was constantly running through my mind how the cooking process was going to be, if they were going to like my food, all of these different questions. And I think the easier thing would have been was to reach out for that support. And it's okay if I needed that support, right? Because at the end of the day, it was going to make me probably free up more space, create more peacefulness in the environment, right? Because there was just a lot of meals that I was in charge of for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if those time periods I gave that to, a private chef or a catering company, whatever that might be, that left more extra time for me to really have downtime, to journal, to go for a walk, kind of clear my head. And I believe I would have that extra time. And that investment that I make in that would go a long way compared to if I were to not invest. I think investing in that help, in that support is invaluable, because you're going to save your time, you're going to save your energy. That would be one valuable lesson that I learned while hosting this retreat. And then another one would be to trust, because I think I was really doubting myself and not fully believing that I could do it, that I could be an amazing retreat host. And so I think it is coming back and recognizing that I chose this path for a reason. This idea, this vision was in my heart space. It was in, I felt it in my soul for a reason. And when the ego starts to kick in and you start to, create all these lists of fears and what ifs and whatnot, you start to lose that. And I think I forgot like the reason why I even started this in the first place. And so during this retreat, I really remembered that. I came back to that original place of love for this retreat. I came back to really recognize that I am making a difference here. I am impacting lives, and I'm helping others. I'm supporting and creating a sacred space for women to really share their stories and be vulnerable and connect on a deeper level. I mean, it's just magical to me, and I cannot wait to host more in the future. My next one will actually be in October in Silverthorne, Colorado. So this one was in Basalt. The next one will be the next one will be in Silverthorne, Colorado in October, from October 20th through the 23rd. And then I plan on having another one in the summertime. So don't you worry, I'm gonna have another summer retreat in Colorado Springs for sure for the summer of 2024. So as my examples that I gave, I hope that this message that I'm sharing with you today really inspires you to trust in your own inner light. Whatever that might be, whatever path that your light is guiding you towards, really trust it, follow it. You never know, it might be a path that you stay on for just a short amount of time. It could be a path that you and journey on and embark on for a longer period of time. But just know that whatever path that you're on, it's meant to be, okay? Because you're gonna learn things on that path. You're gonna grow and evolve and blossom into the next level version of you who's gonna walk on the next path in which you're gonna be more wise and you're gonna cultivate more wisdom within you to see, if there's obstacles or challenges that come your way, you're going to be that much wiser to know exactly what to do. You never know. You don't always have to know the reason for why you're drawn to a certain path in life. But I think it's that much more magical when you can just surrender to it and just follow it. Follow your heart. Your heart knows the way. It's guiding you towards, what your soul craves, what your soul desires for you, and the kind of life that is going to just fulfill you in so many different ways. The first step is just to trust. So I want to share a few journaling prompts to leave you with. Pause the podcast and write them down, whatever works for you, or just kind of, save them in your memory bank in your mind. One of them is, what is my inner light guiding me towards? What is my inner light guiding me towards? The second journal prompt is, how can I trust and believe in myself more and more each day? How can I trust and believe in myself more and more each day? The third one is, what aligned action am I going to take in order to follow this light? What aligned action am I going to take in order to follow this light? Okay, so those were a few journaling prompts. For a little bit, I just want to share some really magical moments with you that happened during this retreat. I love reflecting back and going back through different memories that we cultivated together and we shared together. It was so just almost bizarre to me how women from all around the country didn't know one another, yet I felt like I had known them for all my life. Like each of them had something about them that almost I recognized in myself, and that made me feel that much closer to them. I felt like I had this connection and this bond with them that was made before we even met, which is just wild to say. We had a lot of fun and just just special moments together. I there was this one time, I think we did an embodiment practice and an embodiment dance, and at the end of the song, this was towards the end of our women's self-love circle, we thought that it was over, so like we stopped dancing, we were like, ooh yeah, like that was so nice, just kind of like winding down from that dance. Then all of a sudden it starts going again. I think it was oh, it was like that song, the dog days are over. And it like goes in this little like ding 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 ding, and it sounded like it was slowing down and coming to a close, but it wasn't. And then it starts up again. And we were like, oh, run fast for your mother, fast for your father, run for your sister. So funny. That moment was hilarious. And then I also had the opportunity to be a photographer for like the first time in my life. I've always had my pictures, I've done photo shoots, my own photo shoots with my own camera, but I had never taken photos. I had never taken an actual photo of somebody else. And so there was a mother and daughter that attended my retreat. And so they said yes, because it was optional. They said yes to do the self-love photo shoot with me. And I was so honored to take their pictures. I mean, you could just feel the love between them, and it was so special to just see and capture those moments of love. It was so special, and the pictures came out so amazing. I know the mom at the end, she was like, I have a lot of trouble seeing myself and liking the pictures most of the time that I see of myself. And this really saddened me, but she said that, a lot of these pictures, like she felt so confident taking them, and she just felt so comfortable in her skin. And she actually really, really loved the photos that I took of her. And that made me so happy. I was like, oh. So 3 of the days we had workshops on mindset work, we had workshops on body acceptance, and the last one was on inner child healing. And after our self-love ritual or exercise after the workshop, we got to do some mindful painting outside. Oh my gosh. It was just so awesome just being able to, create and not have any expectations with it, right? Just simply to create, to simply express our creativity, right? And as I was painting and we were talking a lot about just like our experience with it, I could feel my perfectionist tendency showing up, and I was like, oh, oh. So I just scratched my whole idea and just literally put paint to the canvas just simply to enjoy it, right? Like not to have this perfect little picture come out and have this final beautiful portrait done. No, it was literally just to enjoy it. And we all had just this, moment where we were like, when is the last time we were doing this? Like, it was just amazing. There were so many other little magical moments, but I just wanted to share a few with y'all. And I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life. I truly cannot wait to host even more retreats. Like I said, there is going to be one in October, so if you are interested in joining that, there's only 2 spots left. So get your hands on them before they are booked. And I haven't fully planned out the one that's going to be in Colorado Springs in the summer of 2024. So once that is starting to be in the works, I'm definitely thinking about it. I will keep y'all updated on that. But Thank y'all so much for listening to today's episode. I will see y'all in the next one. I plan on having a lot more guest appearances, so stay tuned for that. Bye, y'all have a lovely rest of your Tuesday.